T minus 10 minutes. T minus 9 minutes. T minus 8 minutes. T minus 7 minutes. T minus 6 minutes. T minus 5 minutes. T minus 4 minutes. T minus 3 minutes. T minus 2 minutes. T minus 1 minute. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Take is when I'm slipping you. You know where I go when we're dancing. Handshakes in the Hamptons and getting drunk in the mansions with you. Yeah. And you look so classic. Come through with that magic. You know that I'm about to smash it. It's true.
Alright, thank y'all. Let's do it.
I could take it to the room or I could take it to the beach. But we gotta leave at 9 cause I gotta get my sleep. You could be the early bird, I'ma give you that worm. Get with me, I'll take you around the world. Cause if it's gold, I'll throw it away. You're worth more than every single chain. Walk with a lamp, it just means I'm cool. Next trip I take is just me and you. You know where I go.
But without further ado,
Well, I guess to close it out, we'll do our handshake.
indeed, episode 10
Signing off.
in the books.
At the end of that video, we said episode 10 signing off. And this episode is officially our 20th
Yes.
episode.
Number 20. Who
Big
would have
20.
thought?
Yeah. We made it pretty
would
far
have
so
thought?
far.
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you for joining us. We're the sports podcast of the High Five. We mainly focus on Florida State and Florida football and baseball. Sometimes Tampa Bay Bucks also, and a little bit of MLB and NHL and NBA.
Across everything.
Yeah.
If you want to stay up to date with things that are going on with the channel, you know, with stuff where eventually, of course, we've been saying these past few weeks that we're going to be putting stuff out. So if you want to stay up to date with that, our socials are in the bio and are in our social media links. You can find us if you want to follow us personally, not just the handshake, but as far as our personal ones, I would be JTV Tree and JTV Tree 16 on Twitter, and then Instagram, Twitter.
And I'll be Lil Yeah on Instagram and XXC10 on Twitter. This past week, I've actually been thinking of a lot of different Instagram names to use, and I can't find one still that I think is...
So you're still rocking with it?
Still rocking with it. I might go back to my old XXC10, but I think someone's actually took that Instagram name now.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But before we get into the biggest part of our news that we have today, because there is a lot, college football news, NFL jerseys, MLB jerseys. So before we get into that, like we always do with every episode, is doing our random story of the week. So let's get into the random story of the week. So this week was pretty fun. This past weekend, I did a pretty good bit of things. I had my uncle over because my aunt was out of town, and he needed someone to hang out with, so he came over to our place.
Oh.
And then the storm on Friday, the big old tornado that came through early morning, ended up having my granddad come over on Saturday, Sunday, and I think he left last night. So all the way up to Wednesday night, he had to stay with us. But during that time, I wanted to get out of the house, do a little bit of arts and crafts, and I built this helmet board thing.
The helmet display.
Yeah, helmet display. So when we had our putting green put in our backyard, we actually had a little leftover carpet. And I went out back, saw me a piece of wood that I wanted to use, that carpet, and I went to Home Depot, got all those the hooks I needed for it. All in total, this thing was $6. I paid for this whole entire thing.
Insane.
Yeah.
Not including the helmets, of course. Those are the most expensive things.
Yeah, almost $30 a piece. But yeah. One thing about this is I have to sit over here on the side with Miami. So
I have to sit on the side with UCF.
I was thinking about putting Miami on your side. That wasn't a good choice, though.
Y'all play them this year.
We do play them this year.
To start the year.
Yeah, and we play UCF this year. We play all three. Might as well throw in the Bucks and Jags in there with it. We'll play the whole Florida squad. Not the Dolphins. Dolphins are a real team.
USF. FAU, FIU. Throw Florida Gulf Coast in there.
Yeah.
I don't even think they have a football team.
Make Stetson start a football team so they could play him.
JU.
Yeah. All the colleges. But what's your random story of the week?
Well, my random story of the week would be I went to Hawaii this past weekend for my sister's wedding. It was absolutely beautiful. It was on the beaches of Maui.
There we
It
go.
was a sunset.
Mm-hmm.
It was beautiful.
Dang.
It was a lot of sleeping and me just literally chilling out on the beach until we had to go and either go to lunch or go, of course, get ready for the wedding. It was nice. It was literally me, Madison, my mom, my dad, Justin, Ashlyn, which is my sister-in-law. That's so weird to say.
Yeah.
My sister-in-law, and then
Would they,
Justin's parents.
Justin's parents. I don't think they would be technically like
no,
extended
they are
family.
not. Yep. I have a brother-in-law and a sister-in-law now.
Yeah. There you go.
Lovely.
Extending the family.
Extending the family.
Always good. I actually have another wedding coming up, I think, next weekend.
Yeah, I have a wedding tomorrow and a wedding next
Jeez.
Saturday.
It's wedding season. It's
Yeah.
baby season. People having babies right now.
Not me.
And not me. Yeah. Congratulations to every single person
Congrats.
out
Yay.
there. Yeah. But this episode is actually going to be a little different that we usually do. Tonight we're actually going to try to do some phone calls. Maybe a little later on in the episode.
Yeah.
But we're going to be talking a little bit about the I don't know. What should we start off with first? I was thinking the covers that got dropped today.
Yeah.
You want to start
Today.
Yeah. Well, the second cover that got
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Something that we've all been anticipating for a long period of time and was kind of let down is College Football 25.
Terrible. Well,
The covers
The
are
covers.
terrible.
the people that they picked,
Yes.
I really don't get. I kind of get the Quinn Ewers.
Ewers is the only one I understand, but let's take a look at them. So the deluxe edition that they have everybody on there. You can actually, if you look closely in the top left, there's a Florida Gator helmet, and over there in the middle, there's a Florida Gator flag, and I think right above the Georgia helmet, there's an FSU helmet.
And right above Milrow is a Clemson helmet.
Yes. But the basic cover is the one that everybody's talking about.
Before we real quick, before you go on,
Okay.
you know who didn't make the deluxe edition cover? The University of Miami.
That is true.
They
That is
did not
true.
have a helmet.
There's no helmet.
They did not have a flag. There was the meme where they were zooming in and they were like, no way, could that really be him? And it was the Pop-Tart guy from the Pop-Tart Bowl.
He's in it, and Miami's not in it.
Yeah, he's literally like, if you go where the smoke is above the FSU helmet and you zoom in, he's in it. I don't know if you're going to be able to show it, but
You said right above the FSU helmet?
it should be like right there. Either that or it was a meme that was completely tied into it. But I'm pretty...
Try to expand this some more. We're zooming in hot right now.
Oh, I see an ugly flag.
I don't
The-
see it.
I don't either. The one
But we are
flag...
zoomed in for FSU though.
The one flag that they should have put, they didn't.
Oh, Washington
flag.
Washington State's, yeah.
They did not put Washington State's flag on
I did
there.
see that. That was really weird them not doing that.
Like they have had the longest outstanding tradition where in every single college game day since the very 1st game day they have had one Washington State person, whether it be alma mater, current, whatever, be there with a giant Washington State flag every college game day
Yeah. But
for weeks and years, and they don't make it. They have Nebraska though.
you can tell there's some things that EA is still in charge of.
Oh yeah.
And it's definitely these covers.
Yeah.
because Jordan, Travis Hunter being on the front cover, that's kind of weird.
I would have thought they would have picked Shador. Maybe it's all the stuff that the Sanders are saying right now. And you know who hasn't been talking all the smack?
Travis Hunter. Yeah.
Which is actually shocking.
It's very shocking. Very shocking.
Like, you didn't see him on Twitter talking smack.
Yeah. Another one that we thought was weird that he made the cover was Edwards. Because when they released this and they were talking about them three on the front, people kept talking about how Edwards was doing so great in the national championship. He did have 2 touchdowns, one passing, one passing out of the backfield, or receiving out of the backfield.
And a blowout win
running
against Washington.
Yeah, but if you look outside of that game, their last 4 games that meant a lot, from Ohio State, the Big Ten game, this semifinal game, and the finals game, he's only had 2 touchdowns and close to 900 yards each. Like, for all 4 games, 900 yards. I get that he was a backup running back at that time, and he's supposed to be fulfilling big shoes from the running back that was there at Michigan last year. But there's a lot more players that they could have picked
So many more. So many more. But, hey, they won the national championship. You got to throw them in there. And then, Texas.
Yeah.
And prime time.
Yeah. Because Texas is moving over to the SEC, and they definitely wanted that. For a fact, if Arch Manning would have signed to be on this, he would have been the cover athlete, even though he is a backup quarterback. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's kind of weird. But
A little bit.
Yeah. Let's take a look at this regular one again. A lot of people are also making fun of this, talking about how it's a ripoff of the one Madden cover with Brady and Patrick Mahomes on the front. There was a lot of people posting that meme, and I agree with it.
And the fact that, 2 of the guys look like they're having fun, getting hyped up, and then you have homeschool Quinn Ewers on the side just smiling.
He literally looks like
He's
a
just-
homeschooler.
And I was a homeschooler for a little bit. That's terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. Like,
Cheesing hard.
what is that? Travis Hunter's losing his mind in the middle. And he's just...
Yeah. There was a behind the scenes footage or video.
What's the D stand for?
Dog. Does it not stand for dog? I think that's what it stands for.
That's what it's supposed to stand for. That's not what Travis Hunter said in the behind the scenes video.
Oh, is that what do you say? I didn't watch all of it. I watched good bits of it.
Let's just say the first initial of this word would be BD.
Oh, my goodness.
And then Quentin Ewers laughed, and then that was it.
I did see where right before they went out of the tunnel, Travis Hunter was talking to Ewers and asking about his future pro draft combine that he would be going to next year, and he was bragging about his times. And then Edwards is walking up there, and he looks so pissed off, like, let's get this over with. Like, let's just walk out this tunnel. And someone commented, they're like, Edwards is just there so he doesn't get fined. And it's true. Kind of looks like
the
it.
Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah.
Hunter looked like the only person that wanted to be there, and the other 2 were like, all right, let's get this over with. Because it was them 3 with a bunch of actors that were in
Other people's
the
jerseys,
uniforms, because they literally had the shot. That's like a live shot of all the actual people that they had with the helmets. It wasn't edited.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It would have been cool if they got all those players there and was able to show us all those players. But,
Like, pick a player from those respective colleges to be actually on the cover instead of actors.
yes. There actually is some news that came out about how much everything is going to cost.
Bro.
That was what dropped today. So if you want to pre-order the extended bundle, it is the deluxe edition. It is $100 pre-order, But if you do not order it in a certain amount of time, it is $150.
It's $150 pre-order.
When I was looking at it this morning on EA's website, it said $100. I'll show you.
Why am I buying it from EA?
Well, I was looking at the countdown clock, and as soon as it hit 11 o'clock, I got the whole thing. See, $99 for the deluxe edition
On
PlayStation. Yeah,
now, if you go into Walmart,
it would be $150.
$150.
Yeah, because right now with PlayStation Store, I think it's only for the digital download that you get a 3-day early access to play it. So it comes out July 19th, so you'll be able to play it July 16th before the game gets released.
So
yeah.
I'll know if it's Madden, I'm not buying the game, or I'm buying the $69.99. I'm not spending $150 on Madden.
They're also doing a bundle where you get Madden and NCAA together.
Probably for $300 because of both the deluxe editions, and you get like a bunch of extra stuff with it.
I feel like they're going to end up giving away Madden at this point.
And then I made there was someone who I follow on Twitter, and I made a comment because he was talking about the prices. I'm like, watch, EA is going to come out with a DLC pack of like all the jerseys ever, and they're going to charge like $199.95.
I'll buy it. I ain't lying to you. I'll buy it.
I would not. That's literally.
I love jerseys, and I want to see every single jersey.
That's
and if they actually
that's
do that,
literal consumption to the highest degree. Oh, jerseys, $200. Sign me up.
sign me up. I'll probably be the only NCAA game I'll ever buy. Spending $300 on just a game, yeah, that would be definitely the only video game I buy for a long time.
If it was like literally as much as the console.
Yeah, we are going to be getting a trailer tomorrow, a first look and first trailer.
Didn't they say that was supposed to happen today?
They said that was supposed to happen today along with it, but that was just the rumor portion of it. The more I kept looking into it, so I kind of hyped myself up about it.
So it was officially a release that's coming out tomorrow.
Yeah, officially they put on their Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and all that kind of stuff. They said that it's all going to be coming out tomorrow during the day. They had to give a specific time. So more than likely 11 o'clock, just like it did today. So, yeah, if you're going to be doing anything around tomorrow, as soon as it drops, just say, hey, I got to use the restroom, and be gone for like 45 minutes rewatching the video like 7 times. So, you know.
Jeez.
That's probably what I'm going to be doing.
Yeah,
Hopefully
but
be at lunch.
Once this game comes out, we're gonna actually try to start doing like a gaming portion of the channel, to where, because we got those small mics now, to where we can record ourselves while we play video games. And let's just say that all of us in a room together bring out the best in each other's personalities.
Oh, yes. Especially playing video games.
Especially playing competitive video games.
Oh, my goodness. We're going to have a scoreboard up there, too. Keep track of who's winning what.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. Definitely got to set up a schedule on a tournament.
Yep.
Dalton comes in town. He's just like an away game
Goes
coming
0-8.
over to us. Yeah. We could play online with people.
By the way, Dalton, just because you bought the new console, the new PS5, doesn't mean you're going to be good at any video games. It doesn't change. You just spent more money to still stink. But I love you.
Yeah.
Positivity.
I guess if we're throwing shade at Dalton, I can throw shade at Jacob. I'm going to beat you in every single game on this, just like I beat you in Madden.
Except when he plays with Kyler Murray.
Not anymore.
Well, that was you with Justin Herbert, too.
That is true. Justin Herbert is goated for me right now. And Kenny Pickett for some reason.
Because it's a video game. Whenever would Kenny Pickett slay an NFL defense.
Never.
Never.
That's why he's not a
That's why it's called Madden, baby.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom.
Oh, they actually did release some of the soundtrack for the game. And
They
it
did.
was awesome. It was
did.
really good. I should have downloaded that and played it, but I don't know. We might have even copy strike because I really don't want to get copy strike by EA.
No. Yeah, that would not be good.
Yeah.
Lawsuit.
Mm-hmm.
But we kind of. Was there anything else you wanted to touch on as far as the NCAA game?
No.
Well, I don't know. We didn't really talk about this beforehand as really a segment, and I don't really know if you heard this or not, but there was breaking news yesterday that ESPN has fired RG3 from being a commentator for NFL and college football, which means he can still get picked up by Fox, which will probably happen, but they have now gotten Jason Kelsey.
So they fired RG3 for Jason Kelsey?
They fired one of the greatest commentators of all time for a fat white offensive lineman.
Oh my goodness.
But you know why? Swifties.
Ah, true. True.
Even though Jason Kelsey's wife does not like any of that stuff.
Yeah.
She shows up to NFL football. Oh, excuse me. She shows up to NFL football games in like sweats, t-shirt, jacket, while all these other people are dressing out like in their $20,000 outfits.
Yeah.
Mad respect.
She's just there to watch her husband. She doesn't care about being seen, which honestly everybody should be like that. Just have a good time. Yes.
Exactly. But it is crazy news because RG3, in my personal opinion, is probably one of the best
Yes.
commentators out there. For sure.
Especially when they threw him on like a random Monday Night Football game. That was the only reason why half the people watched it is because of RG3's
Because
commentating.
they would have him doing like the weirdest, like the FSU game when I don't know who we played, but the man was literally standing like where the student section was, but like on the wall. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? And he's just sitting there vibing, and I'm like, no other person. You're not going to see Kirk Herbstreit or Gene Deckerhoff get up there and be like, yeah, no, not happening.
RG3's doing it, but
Not any longer for ESPN.
yeah. They did release a new logo for ABC or SEC on the ABC channel now. It kind of looks like a ripoff of the CBS logo that they used.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I forgot to get a photo of that. I just reminded me about it, but my goodness, I don't know. I'm excited that the SEC is on ABC again because they had a long history with ABC before going over to CBS and having that long
Their
history.
CBS. See, by the way, I didn't understand why y'all had CBS because CBS had the worst graphics out of anyone.
But the commentating was next to none.
Yeah, because you had the same two commentators every single.
They were different guys. They just all sound the same.
Exactly. Exactly.
But yeah, ABC, kind of excited to see it, but it's going to be ran by ESPN, so it's basically just an extension of what we have already with ESPN. But they did release Florida's game times. That's going to be on that channel on ABC.
3:30 all season, baby.
Yeah.
Y'all get wrapped in.
Yeah, so all three games so far that we're going to be playing on ABC is at 3:30. That's for Miami, Texas A&M, and for Georgia. So 3 spotlights. Hopefully we can do pretty good. We actually picked up a pretty good recruit here.
What, from Colorado?
From Colorado. So let me pull up his name real quick. I guess we're going to go ahead and segue into Florida State football.
Just because he was a star player on a 4-8 team
Okay.
to then go to a 5-7 team,
A little better.
still not bowl eligible.
Cormani McCall. McLean.
McLean.
So he did go into the transfer portal this past October. And when he left into the transfer portal, a lot of people probably remember him now after I say this. He said, I feel like I just don't want to play for clicks anymore. I just want to be involved with a great leading program that's going to develop players.
Because
So, yeah. Right after him saying that, Dion did come out and say, I hope he goes to a program that is actually going to develop him well, because he wasn't somebody who watched game footage or prepared for showed up to practices late and showed up to film study late, or didn't even show up at all. So a lot of people and myself are very scared about him coming over to Florida and might be doing the same thing.
it was all sunshine and rainbows
Yes.
yesterday on Twitter, and now it's not.
Yeah, once people came to realization
They're
about
like,
everything.
oh, wait.
Yeah. I was excited when I first heard the news. Thinking about it, I was like, okay, cool. Like somebody who was supposed to be in a recruiting class in 2023, but ended up going to Miami, committing to them, and then right before signing with Miami, flipped to go to Colorado. But him coming over, he was a top corner in the recruiting class in 2023. As of right now, he was 14th in the transfer portal as a corner, so not the best throughout this transfer class. But it would be exciting to see him wear orange and blue and adding him onto that secondary that we do have. But it is a long road, and hopefully he's ready for the ride, I would have to say.
I mean, he does have the defensive coordinators to help him.
Mm-hmm.
You have a defensive coordinator for every defensive player.
We do, which could be one of the worst things possible on earth, but you never know.
The communication. No, let's talk about that real quick. So with the amount of coaches that they have on the defensive side of the ball, how is the communication going when you have, instead of 3 to 5 coaches, you have 10 to 12?
Yeah. It's going to be mass confusion.
No. 8-4.
You think 8-4? I hope it's 8-4. That would be a great season.
4-8. And Dan Mullen gets fired.
I forgot Josh is dyslexic.
Oh, I totally forgot you were blind. Did you not see your schedule this year?
It's absolutely horrible.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. I'm just trying to have high hopes for Florida right now.
You know what I heard today? Breaking news. The world's greatest drink party in Jacksonville.
Might be getting moved to Tampa.
No.
Oh, where's it getting moved to?
A home and home.
No way.
So they are in talks with making this year, the 2024 season, Georgia has to go to the Swamp. And then next year you'll have to play in Athens. Because they don't have a stadium. Yeah. And technically,
Where the Jags going to play? Orlando?
I have no idea. Apparently there were talks of them using our stadium this year, but I didn't get that with us doing renovations too.
Yeah.
I don't know. We are the closest to them. We are
That is
an
true.
hour and 50-minute drive from the stadium.
Yeah. What if they play at Daytona all season? That's
What?
another. That's like 2.5 hours from Jacksonville. Oh my goodness.
Oh, goodness. Whoop, whoop, whoop. The sound of the police. Well, who would have thought technical difficulties would have happened?
No,
That's not like it happens every stream.
It's just every 30 minutes I gotta do this.
Oh.
Hey, we get a photo of us now.
And we caught that. Wait, does that catch that? Do it again?
Do I catch you in 4K?
No.
Are we good? All right,
We are
we're
good.
All right. I kind of feel like standing. Oh, wow, you're so tall. I don't want to stand no more. I'm going to
So-
sit down.
Oh, this is even worse.
I look like a little tiny
You
guy.
look like Yao Ming. No, not Yao Ming. I look like Yao Ming. You look like, what's his name? Bugsy Hall, who played in the NBA, who was like 5'5".
Yeah. I'm Kevin Hart standing next to Shaq. Or that guy that was standing on that stage.
So, Make-A-Wish kid, what would you like? A family. Good health. An Iron Man.
Oh, when you see Iron Man show up, you know it's all over.
Since it's going to probably be a decently long stream, so we can kind of go back and forth and kind of go off subject a little bit. Talking about Marvel movies, Hugh Jackman
Oh, yeah.
has recently come out and divorced his wife and has been seen in public with his now rumored boyfriend, who is his yoga instructor for the past 3 years. All I'm saying is, how did I not know? I would have gotten that man. Are you kidding? He was on the market? He was on the market. He was on the market and I never knew.
My goodness.
That's all I got to say.
Oh, God. Good for you, Hugh.
Indeed. Good for you. Good for you. But yeah, that was I was like, oh,
As a random little side note,
indeed.
Wolverine and Weasel.
Literally the weasel from Deadpool. Just no. The weasel
Suicide
from
Squad.
Suicide Squad. Weasel. Yep.
Oh, man. But there is other college football news. I think
Oh, yes.
FSU had a big meeting yesterday. I don't know if we want to get our first call-in coming in. Or...
You remember he couldn't call in this evening?
God, I forgot about that.
We might only have one,
Okay.
which he is.
Sick.
Let's just say that he says he's a FSU fan, but if he had to pick between Jameis Winston and Baker Mayfield and Kyler Murray, he's picking Baker Mayfield and Kyler Murray. But that's for a little bit later. That was the hint.
Oh,
That was the hint.
A good little hint. I'm gonna check out. I'm gonna see if he's on.
Probably not. We probably have 0 viewers. Oh, 2.
Is this? Yeah, he's on. Yeah, Waffle Guy.
Oh my gosh. He's back. Clip it. What did I say?
About
Oh.
Hugh
Oh,
Jackman
yeah.
thing.
No, I think it was about the Make-A-Wish thing.
Oh, probably.
But yes, certain one of our people will be joining the stream in just a little bit. But yeah, so FSU. I guess we won't really talk about the meeting since we can probably have him on a future show where he can talk about it. But there is some juices of stewing because this past week was the ACC Media Day, which there are a few teams that were oddly friendly to each other.
Oh, who might this be?
So there was the article that I read yesterday, and I also read another one today that said behind closed quiet doors, Florida State's athletic director, Clemson's athletic director, North Carolina's athletic director, NC State's athletic director, and Duke's athletic director all met in a room together.
Ooh.
Away from all the other, from Miami's AD and Syracuse's AD and Georgia Tech's AD and Virginia's and Virginia Tech's. They all went in the room together for apparently 3.5 hours.
Gee, what were they talking about in there?
Well, 2 weeks before that, 3 of the teams that I just named, Florida State, Clemson, and North Carolina, were reported that they were in Chicago, Illinois for some meetings. Now, you probably ask, what is in Chicago? Well, funny enough, that's where the Big Ten...
I'm sorry. I was making sure it was live.
So unprofessional. No, I'm playing. So, the Big Ten offices are in Chicago. That's where Florida State, Clemson, and North Carolina did go to have meetings. So it looks like the SEC said, we don't want you or Clemson. You had your chance. Blah, blah, blah. Go ahead and go to the Big Ten. And the Big Ten's like, okay. So I say July, before my birthday.
Okay.
Florida State and Clemson and North Carolina and NC State will be leaving the ACC and joining the Big Ten for the 2025 season.
I can see that. All 4 of them
Yep.
going to the Big Ten.
Yep.
So the Big Ten would have 22 schools at that point?
Yep. How many schools does the Big 12 have? Like 30?
They have 12 or 14. 14 or 6. No, it's 14, pretty sure.
14 or 6.
No, 14 or 16. But I'm pretty sure it's 14.
Teams in each conference. What are you staring at?
I'm thinking like that would be crazy if all 4 of them go to the Big Ten. That's a very unbalanced.
Okay,
thing.
so oh, that's FCS. I was like,
Big 12's right there.
the Big Sky.
You passed it.
Big 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
That
12.
has Texas in it. That's an old list.
1. Oh, it is 2024.
Oh my goodness.
Because they have more teams.
Yeah.
2024 college football realignment. Okay. So the American Athletic Conference has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 teams. The ACC currently has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. The Big Ten
16.
has 1, 2, 3. They have 16?
Yeah.
So
Big Ten also has 16.
20. With the add of those 4. What's the SEC with the add-on to Texas and Oklahoma?
14. We're 2 behind Big Ten. So it makes sense.
You're going to get Miami
Oh God, I hope not. I hope not.
and Georgia Tech.
Oh God, that's no, not the rivalries I want.
You're going to have Vanderbilt, Wake Forest, and Georgia
That's a
Tech.
weak conference right there. It's a weak conference.
Nah, who am I kidding? Wake Forest is going to go to like the Big East.
I think there's still a good chance that Clemson does move. I mean, Clemson and Florida State does move over to the SEC.
They
I'm
don't
gonna
they
keep
don't
my
want
faith
us.
in that.
They don't want us. They've explicitly said that they don't want us because we think we're too good, which is fine. We'll just go to the Big Ten and only have to play Michigan and Ohio State each year, and if we beat them, if you really look at the Big Ten, other than Ohio State, Michigan, who else in that conference is good every single year? And who is a threat every single year? Penn State has been garbage ever since they got caught touching kids.
That is true.
Iowa makes it to the Big Ten championship every year, but they have no
Chokes.
offense.
Yeah.
Nebraska?
Not Nebraska, not Wisconsin.
Michigan State?
not
No.
Michigan
They're
State.
going to have violations. Northwestern?
Yeah.
Like,
It's still going to be Michigan, Ohio State. It's going to be the two for Big Ten no matter what.
until Clemson and Florida State get in there and start whipping their butt.
Clemson ain't going to do anything in the Big Ten.
Well, no, because they need to fire Dabo.
Yeah.
And hire Lane Kiffin.
Lane Kiffin at Clemson?
Things don't go all too well for the next 2 or 3 years at Ole Miss. He still goes 9-3. People don't really like him, and he says, "You know what? I'm going to broaden my horizons in the Big Ten. I'm going to be the next head coach at Clemson." Brother,
I don't know. There is talks about
Chip Kelly.
Miami thinking that if Florida State and Clemson leaves, it is a great opportunity for them to take advantage of hardly anybody in the conference and actually
and
win
still
an
lose
ACC
an
championship.
ACC champion. They'll make it to the game,
Yeah, probably still lose to Pitt or
or SMU, or California, or Stanford.
But Miami is thinking this is the best thing for them right now. So I don't see them making the jump to the SEC or Big 12 rather
Well, I don't
quickly.
think. Could you imagine if Miami ends up in the SEC?
Yeah, they would be.
You thought
Florida wouldn't have to worry
you
about
thought
being the worst
Alabama fans were.
Oh, yeah. We're figuring out right now on Twitter how bad Miami fans actually are.
Yeah, y'all didn't. Florida fans really didn't understand until this past offseason, and then y'all realized why they're the off-season champs every year.
Yes. Yeah. They are off-season warriors, and they think them putting down random people for random things that helps their football team.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And then when you call them out for it, they're just like, "Who is this guy? Who is this dude?" And it's like, yeah. You're saying that because you have nothing to rebuttal the dumb thing you just said for everyone and their mother to see on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I bookmark it because you know what's going to happen in November? I'm going to retweet it, and then I'm going to say at whatever his name.
Mm-hmm.
How about now?
Yeah.
Keep the receipts.
Keep the receipts. That's why I try not to say a lot of stupid things on social media, because people could keep receipts for a lot of things. So,
Yep.
yeah. But, what else about FSU has happened in the past couple weeks? I know there was a booster meeting yesterday.
There was a booster meeting that Dalton went to because he's a booster.
Yeah. Is there anything you can shed light on that he told you?
He was scared to death to start off with because Mike Norvell came in and yelled at the top of his lungs. And he was like, "Yo, you can't be yelling at me like that. I'm not a part of the team. I'm giving you money. You can't be yelling at me like that." He said that he was almost this close to being like, "Shut up." "Yo, shut up. You're being too loud." But he said it went well.
That's good.
Yeah, we have a couple big-time recruits that are looking at us right now. 5-star tight end
There we go.
out of Georgia.
Hey.
See, they talk all that smack, and then we just take their players. Reload, baby. Reload.
That's exactly what y'all doing. FSU's definitely going to be a scary team this year. A lot of people, they have them, 7th in the preseason right now? 5th. Okay. Yeah. They probably got Colorado.
This is
State,
the
right?
first time we've been ranked preseason in the top 5 since I was 14 years old.
That was the last time
Oh
we
my
had a college
gosh, that
football.
makes me feel so old. I'm almost 25.
Last time we had a college football game was 2014. Is this a correlation?
So what you're telling me is FSU's winning a natty?
Oh.
And then guess what? They're not going to put DJ on the cover because he played for Florida State.
Yep.
They don't get invited to the Nissan Heisman House either.
They
But
use-
Johnny can.
Yeah.
Too much money in my ears, Johnny Manziel. And Reggie Bush.
Yeah.
And
Oh, you want to talk about that for a second? The Heisman House and
Yes.
the Heisman show?
yes. So let me just say, I do not understand. Charlie Ward's never been invited. Chris Winkie hasn't been invited. And Jameis hasn't been invited. They have their paintings on the wall, but they never let him come.
Yeah.
But they'll send out an apology letter, and sincere apology letter about Orenthal James Simpson dying.
Yeah.
The
juice.
Let's be honest, everyone. Let's just have a quick little discussion. Even the people on the jury said he was guilty, but because of the certain things with Rodney King happening, it was kind of like the get back, which I completely understand. You know, it is what it is. But the fact that people are like, oh no, he didn't do it.
Yeah, he did it. 100% did it.
Like he stopped taking his heart pressure medicine so his hands would swell.
Yeah.
On top of the blood being soaked on leather gloves, they're going to shrink.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like if the prosecution didn't bring the gloves in, I think he would have. Actually, no, he probably would have been acquitted anyways. Literally, if they had video footage of OJ doing what he did, I think he still would have gotten off. But
More than likely, yeah.
back to what we were saying, the Heisman House wanted to send out a sincere apology, and being with the Simpson family through this tough time, while Reggie Bush's Heisman isn't at his house, isn't at USC, but that's fine. You're not going to have Jameis on there because of alleged something. Getting free crab legs from the pub. I mean, let's be honest here. I worked at Publix for like 5 years. If Jameis came in and was like, "Hey, can I get these crab legs?" I'm not going to charge him. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to throw like a 2-cent sticker on that thing. I'm just going to be like, "There you go." Like, what is that? And then the one thing that he said on top of a
Yeah,
table.
that wasn't the smartest decision right there.
No,
but
but
that was a college kid
Yes.
saying that.
Yes. But then I would also rebuttal with people being like, "Oh, that's so terrible." I mean, there are videos of Johnny Manziel doing certain things and having certain things on his face.
Plowing the snow.
Like, how is he back? And they're just open arms when he has cheated. Took hundreds of thousands, probably if not millions of dollars from signing stuff. Like, he was gambling, blowing money on games. Like, that's insane. And they're like, "Oh, yeah, it's okay."
They did give Reggie Bush the Heisman back, though.
Yeah, because enough people slandered the Heisman House that if they didn't, it would have been bad.
Yeah.
And that's, of course, when everybody was like, "Well, while we're at it, why hasn't Jameis been invited to the Heisman House?"
Let's keep the ball going.
Yeah. Golly. It's an abomination.
All the Florida Heisman winners are there at the Heisman House.
Yeah, the one that's almost dead that has never won in Tallahassee. The other one who had a voluptuous career in the NFL as a tight end.
Oh, yeah.
And who's the other one? Danny Werfel?
Danny Werfel.
Best NFL quarterback y'all had because he finished out his rookie contract.
Yeah. Yeah. Go Gators.
Gaux. Go Gators.
Yeah. The beat down and Bayou.
You remember when there were reports that y'all were going to get him as like an assistant defensive
Oh my
coach or something like that? My goodness. Gone to the times of
we
Florida.
did have Charlie Weiss as one of our coaches.
You also had a shark lover
Yes.
as a coach as well.
Yes. We also had a guy who loved to fake heart attacks to get out of his own bar. Or get to his own
We
bar.
had a dynasty coach for 50 years a guy who did not care after he won the national championship, nor did he get the things he was asking for, because Stan Wilcox is a wonderful human being. And then we get Willie Taggart, who was in way over his head. Like, way over his head. He coached. No, he didn't know what he was doing. He got one good year at Oregon that had like a top 10 team. Yeah. And everybody was like, oh, yeah.
Before.
Mm-hmm. And then he got there, and the culture. Not saying all I'm saying is the culture, whenever he got there, was nothing like it had ever been at Florida State, and we started sucking bad. I was at the Boise State game. I was at the Virginia Tech game. I remember watching the Miami game at halftime and being like, man, if he doesn't win this game, he's fired. And then I saw the tweet the next morning that he had been fired.
Yeah.
And then Odell Higgins.
Odell went for a run right there.
Yeah, he won every game except the bowl game.
Yeah.
Did he win the bowl game?
I don't think he won against Florida that year. I think that was the year Florida won 41-14.
Oh, yeah, that's the year y'all threw the shoe.
No, was it? Then that okay, so that was a year we beat y'all by 20. It wasn't by 41-14. If it was a shoot the year. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
When's the last bowl game y'all won?
It's been a while. More recent than Miami.
That's being like, oh, wow, I've been to more Gator Bowls than FIU. They're the same, like literally everything down south, Miami, FAU, and FIU are doing the exact same amount of national championship winning in the past 25 years. Except one had an unspeakable amount of cocaine money that almost got them death penalized.
Yeah.
Which they should have done.
Should have got.
They did to SMU. And SMU did way less stuff.
Way less. Yeah. Let's see if there's some more people on.
Talking about SMU, I loved them until they joined the ACC. Yeah. And I saw their fan base, and I'm like, why? Why? It's literally Wake Forest, except worse, because they only seat like 30,000 people. Mm. It's in Dallas. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And then Stanford people, all the smart, sophisticated, like the smartest people now because they're smarter than Duke.
What do you think about SMU and the Tennessee Oilers beef right now?
SMU and the Tennessee Oilers?
Yeah. You haven't heard about it?
No.
So they wear that red and baby blue uniform that looks like the Oilers' old uniform. They're no longer allowed to wear it. The NFL and the Tennessee Oilers don't want them to wear it anymore.
Why?
Because it is the same baby blue the Tennessee Oilers uniforms are. And they said it's too similar. So they gave them a cease and desist letter. And you know what?
No way, they cease and desist? Oh,
yeah.
bro.
So you know what they said? No. That was my ring finger, by the way. But I thought that was pretty cool.
My heart stopped for a second. I was like, well, that's one way to do it. We've done great this entire... I mean, go ahead. Just throw it out the window that quick. We can't even have, one...
That was my ring finger.
This is my ring finger, too. No.
Oh. Yeah.
Positivity.
But they also wouldn't... Tennessee Oilers would not let the Houston Texans wear baby blue. That is Houston, the city of Houston's colors. They wouldn't let them wear.
It is what it is.
Yeah. So,
but, yeah, SMU, you should have just stayed.
Stay put.
Stayed where you didn't have a football team still.
Mm-hmm.
Another team like Miami who just thinks because of
what they did
5 years in 1948, they've been playing football like 40 years longer than Florida State has. SMU. They only have 2 11-win seasons.
Yeah.
And that's it. It was back in the 40s. Oh. I look back at some other college programs, and I'm like, we were blessed. We could have been Tennessee fans.
Oh, my goodness. I couldn't imagine being a Tennessee
Miami
fan.
fans.
Oh.
Could you imagine if we were diehard Canes?
I would.
There's no such thing.
I don't think there would be happiness in my life.
No, there would just be a bunch of trash talking and a bunch of off-season championships.
About.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Cam Ward's the answer with
Oh, yeah,
45 interceptions and 55 fumbles with 0 recoveries.
Go Cam Ward.
The crazy thing is through all this like talking trash, it's usually Florida talking crap about Cam Ward and then Miami talking about crap about Mertz. Like there's a little DJ like shoot there, shoot there, shoot there, but we all realize that Cam Ward, even though that he was projected good in, high octane offense, that is Michigan State or what?
I think we're about ready for this first call in.
What did he say? Was he mad about something I said?
Yeah, he said you have some diabolical takes. Oh my goodness, why is the camera doing this? There we go. It went away. Good. We're all good.
Diabolical takes.
Yeah, he said you have some diabolical
About
takes.
what?
I don't know, but let's get him on the phone right now.
All right, well, here is the first technical caller of the... Turn it a little bit.
Hey, fellas, how are we doing tonight?
Doing pretty good, Chris Martin. Thank you for calling into the handshake.
So
Hey, it's a pleasure to be here, fellas. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
So what is your name for people who is watching on Twitch or YouTube and Facebook?
Your real name, not
Twitch,
your
YouTube,
your troll
Facebook.
name.
My name is Chris Martin, longtime friend of both Jacob and Josh. And I'd like to clarify kind of how Josh wanted to label me earlier in the show for those listening. I'll just take a quick 30-second marker right here. I lived and grew up in both states of Florida and Oklahoma. And what I always told people was, hey, the only time these two teams play each other is in a bowl game. Now, that did happen recently, but I do root for both teams. I support both teams in every sport. Still a diehard Florida State fan because I was born here, but also root for Oklahoma because they have my heart too.
Mr. Chris Martin, question. Who was the starting quarterback for the 2005 FSU team?
Ooh. You might have me there.
Who was the quarterback for the 2006 team?
I'll take Christian Ponder for 200.
No, I don't think it was in 2006. I think it was Chris Ricks. Wait, no. Wait. Oh, no, he actually might be right.
Yeah, if I turn out to be right, Josh
2006.
Second marker of silence.
2006 QB. Drew Weatherford.
Both were wrong.
Yeah, it was Chris Ricks, then Danny Warfel, and then
Danny Warfel.
Yep. I took some notes here, by
Drew
the way,
Weatherford.
while you guys were going through the earlier segments, and I don't want to take up too much of y'all's time this evening.
Okay.
Couple of things. Number one, Josh, coming out and saying on a public platform that Clemson is going to fire Dabo and they're going to take Lane Kiffin. Absolute out of the box thought process. Dabo's not leaving Clemson, period.
No, it's not
And
him
Lane
leaving
Kiffin- Lane
Clemson.
Kiffin's
It's
got
not him leaving
multiple
Clemson. It's him getting fired. And who's the exact opposite of Dabo Sweeney?
Yeah,
Lane Kiffin.
Lane Kiffin has already come out. He said he wasn't going to take the Alabama job. He said he wasn't going to take the Florida State job. He loves Ole Miss. His family loves him.
You know who also said that they weren't going to take all those jobs? Every single head football coach ever. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
but-
perspective to my role at this organization, and then they leave.
Okay. I mean, I can kind of see a little bit of your point there, but
I mean,
Dabo's not leaving Clemson.
DeBoer said that he wasn't ever going to leave Washington. Then he went to Alabama.
Yeah, but DeBoer's in the Pac-12. He's got to say that to keep his job because, Pac-12 is a stepping
Big
stone.
Ten.
I mean, they haven't been a power conference
Ten.
really in how many years?
Big Ten,
Since
brother.
Christian McCaffrey played at Stanford?
Oh, yeah, it's been a little while. That's actually crazy. Christian McCaffrey played for Stanford.
So that's really the only things I want to get off my chest.
That was one thing.
On the video game thing because, quite honestly, you guys know I'm not a big video game guy, but I mean they should have left Colorado off the cover. Period. I mean, it's just a garbage team, and I feel like they're just saturating down the fan base.
I'm glad that they left off Miami.
Amen to that. I mean, if there's one thing we can all agree on, it's Miami. Miami should get no recognition. I mean, they have not been good since 2001.
There we go.
So those are just my hot takes.
Yeah, he actually came in pretty high. Hey, how y'all doing in it? Like, how's y'all's day?
He was like,
going?
okay, all right.
Yeah. All right, Josh, you're a horrible person.
He's that caller.
He's like Tammy.
Long-time listener, first-time caller. He's the dude from the Jimbo Fisher Collin show. Where he was like, Jimbo, why do you do the things that you do? And it was like, shut up and leave. And then it all got turned off. That's Chris. Josh, why do you say the things that you say?
Yeah, you're so out of pocket.
Both of you guys are going to hop on the Sooner hate train. Obviously we just got into
Who's your
the
quarterback?
SEC. But, I think over the coming 5 years, I mean, we're really finally going to get the defensive players that we've needed. We've got a little bit of rebuilding to do on offense, quite obviously.
Rank 4th to 6th every single year in the SEC because you don't have divisions anymore.
Now, Josh, you just know that's not true, man. I mean,
so you're going to finish ahead of Alabama, Georgia, and Texas every year?
Alabama, first of all, we own Texas. I want to make that abundantly clear. We own UT. I mean,
who won last year?
End of story. I mean, pull up the scores for the last 10 years. We own them probably 80% of the time, if not higher. Number two, I mean, our recruiting gets better. And at the end of the day, we're still the Oklahoma Sooners.
Because you have a Clemson defensive coordinator as your head coach.
Hey, he's a good coach. He's a good coach.
The Dabo way. This is the way. No transfer portal.
Who is the coach over there?
It's
Brent Venables.
Brett Venables.
Okay, what a great last name. Well,
so, I mean, I think, mark my words, and you can clip this. I mean, within the next 7 years, Oklahoma will have a national championship under the belt.
This, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, for the people who are listening and watching, this is the same gentleman who thinks the Braves are going to win the World Series every year. And he's also a Falcons fan.
I mean, you act like in recent history that's not a hot take, or that it is a hot take. I mean, look at the star power that we have. It's reasonable to say
how many
we have
so
every
you've
opportunity to
so
win
you've
for the next 10 years.
Question. So you have had 4 straight years of being good. How many World Series have you won in those 4 years?
we've won one, but
We've won one. But at the end of the
No
day,
more Freddie.
Alex Antonopoulos
No more
is
Teddy.
going to go down in history if he keeps on this track as one of the greatest team owners.
I'm gonna call it right now. I'm gonna call it right now. Cal Raleigh is knocking out the Braves in the postseason this year.
Yeah, okay. I'm not worried about the Mariners, Josh. I mean, now you're just going so far off the reservation. You just.
What do you mean, sore off the reservation? You tell me that you wake up in the middle of the night in sweats thinking about Cal Raleigh hitting a home run.
Well, yeah, that's just because listen, we can get into that story later. But at the end of the day.
So back in the day when Chris used to watch FSU baseball with his dad.
Oh, yes.
Cal Raleigh came up to play, and he said, I don't know about this Cal Raleigh guy. He's not going to hit a home run. He's not going to make it in the MLB and all this other kind of stuff. Next thing you know, ding! Straight over the wall, home run, and then the rest is history for Cal Raleigh in the MLB. What do you have to say for that, Chris?
The biggest hater.
I feel like, number one, you're absolutely correct. That is a true story, and I tell that a lot. But I think you're forgetting the big one is a couple of years ago. And keep in mind, guys, I mean, the Mariners had not been to the postseason. I mean, just the king of choking every year. I mean, either they're just mid or they just have sucked. They had a good run a couple of years ago.
The only times that they've been mid and not suck is when they've had Ichiro, Cal Raleigh, or was it Griffey's, and then who was the guy who played for Seattle for like a while?
All those people.
Thank you, Jacob.
I can't.
I'm not.
Wait. Notable Seattle Mariners. I will.
I'd have to say I think this first call is off to a great success.
Oh, it is. Robinson Cano. Felix Hernandez, the king. King Felix. And then he just sucked after he found out that he was using Edwin Diaz, Adrian Beltre, Nelson Cruz.
The Mariners they're at the bottom of the ninth. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, it's a 2-2 or a 3-2 count. Cal Raleigh's the last batter. There's already 2 outs. And I'm sitting there watching this game. And I could repeat to you exactly verbatim what the announcer says. But I sit there, and in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, yeah, I just don't know about this Cal Raleigh guy. Cal Raleigh proceeds to hit an absolute missile to right field, second deck, sends the Mariners to the postseason for the first time. I was so flabbergasted, I had to pick my jaw off the ground, throw it over my shoulder, so that way I could pick up my phone to call my dad. Just unreal game in this guy. And I worry about him.
We worry about you, too.
And this is without PEDs.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if he was juicing like Barry?
Yeah, and by the way, Josh, I know you you like to touch on. We've only had one World Series out of the past 4 years when we've really started to come up. That World Series was without the best player in baseball. Acuna is back. We are back.
But you know who you don't have?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and say it, buddy. Freddie Freeman. Will go down in history as
it's all good.
The top 10
We have
best first baseman ever.
the Red Sox and the Braves both have their quote-unquote best player of the past 8 years on the Braves now.
That is true.
Or on the Dodgers. Mookie.
The only reason you guys are going to go farther in today's day and age is because the American League is, got maybe 2 good teams right now. Look at the gauntlet just in our division that we have to go through.
The A's?
We have to play the Phillies.
Who you statistically say suck every year, but yet.
The Phillies have a better record than us right now, Josh. The Mets are statistically.
What?
They always say they're going to be good, never pan out. And we have to play the Dodgers.
Yeah.
So does everybody else.
You guys play the Yankees? Yeah,
yes.
Congrats.
And we play the Dodgers.
By the time y'all play the Yankees at a meaningful game, all their players are hurt. That's happened the past 5 years. Even though both of y'all haven't had a meaningful game going towards the postseason in 5 years.
It's because we're tired. We're tired of winning every single year, every single 3 years. We need someone else to get it for a little bit. If everyone wins, if the Yankees and the Red Sox and the Dodgers win the World Series every year, no one's going to watch baseball anymore.
So are the Red Sox the Red Sox fans are like Alabama fans? They think they're given to us straight from God.
There's a couple of teams out there that think they're the Alabama of Major League Baseball.
The fact that we never won a World Series in 90 years, and yet we have 8 is abysmal.
It's pretty easy when y'all were playing baseball with George Washington.
Yeah, that's when we won 3 of them. And then we won 4 of them we won 2 of them in the PED era with no PEDs.
Today, dude, Abraham Lincoln was your relief pitcher. I don't even want to hear this comment of how many rings you guys had.
It's kind of funny because you actually had a team. The Braves actually had a team that was an offshoot of my team. I know, crazy, right? Y'all are trying to be the Red Sox so badly. And yet, how long did it take? 90 years for y'all to win a World Series? 90?
Listen, And Jacob will back me
Yeah,
up on this.
yeah. We had Abraham Lincoln, and you had King George the 12th as your pitcher. You had King George up there throwing to who knows who. I don't want to hear it.
I got one last thing to say.
You redcoat.
Sports. Listen, at the end of the day, we can drove on about this subject for hours, and we have some nights. I mean, all three of us, we drove on about it, just throwing stones at each other. But the matter of the fact is, Josh, for the next 5 to 10 years, I, myself, and Jacob will be able to watch our team in the month of October while you sit on the couch.
And choke every single year. I'd rather not make it than just make a fool of myself every year and lose to a team that I shouldn't.
I wouldn't want to win the National League Championship 7 years in a row either. Come on now. Get out of here.
And only win the World Series once. That's choking. Correct?
All right.
If you go 7 straight World Series and you only win one of them,
There's one guy we can all pin this on. Angel Hernandez. He is the reason why none of this can happen.
completely out of right field. The person that they should have fired, but they haven't because of the Umpires Association, because that should be a thing.
I'm telling you, in 20 years, Netflix is going to come out with a documentary on Angel Hernandez, and he is going to drop some bombshell accusations about just the behind-the-scenes stuff of umpires, because there's no way at this point, with even the modern fans who don't really follow baseball all that much, but the diehards, there's no way this guy should still be an umpire in any. I mean, the dude has missed more serious calls in the game
because he
anybody
bets
else in
on the
history,
games.
and he
I
is a
honestly
disgrace
think.
to the game.
I think he sports bets games.
More than likely he does. They need to do an investigation.
Yeah, they're going to investigate all these ML or NBA, MLB players, but they're never going to do the coaches
or the refs.
or the refs who could be making boo koodles because they can call they can swift the game the way they want to do
because
it.
if you think about it, these refs, this isn't their only job. They have other jobs they do.
Yeah,
Some
they're
of these people are
lawyers,
plumbers,
and accountants,
lawyers,
and
so
work for the government.
they're getting paid not that much to be a ref. So they're trying to make a little extra cash on the side. So honestly, I would not be surprised if there are refs out there betting on the side.
I mean, they do it in a
and
minor
tweaking
league
games.
all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
I completely agree with you guys, and I mean, good take on that. We can all get behind Angel Hernandez as probably one of the worst officiators in baseball history.
Yeah, I'm just trying to move along
Baseball.
the subject.
All time is probably Ron Cherry.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, listen, we got plenty of episodes for me to continue proving Josh wrong on every front, on every sport. So let's go ahead and move on, Jacob. I agree with you.
Yeah. Well, one question I do want to ask you before we go to break. Last week you did ask us who our favorite NASCAR drivers were. I want to ask you, who's your favorite NASCAR driver?
Oh, man. Kind of put me on the spot here. I mean, there's just so many.
Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Yeah, I mean, me being a big Chevy guy and actually working for General Motors for a little while, I would say Dale Earnhardt Jr.
And by the way, if anyone real quick wanted to know what Chris looked like, it's Quentin Ewers.
He looks identical to Quentin Ewers. They're actually twin brothers.
Except if he had the head the size of the Oklahoma side that goes out.
Yeah.
Oh!
Let me actually make this.
Oh, just kidding. Just kidding. All love. All love.
We love you, Chris.
Hey, don't you ever superimpose my face on one of those ugly orange
Do it.
jerseys.
Do it. Do it. Zoom
We
in.
would never.
This
Chris.
is Chris right here.
Chris,
For
Chris.
people at home, this is Chris if he was actually athletic.
Hi, Chris. We're FaceTiming you right now.
Oh, man.
I see your face. I like your face. Oh, he's actually FaceTiming us.
Hey, fellas.
Oh my gosh. The cell service is so bad, so
Yeah.
he's
Well-
as grainy as white rice.
All right, so we're about to head off to break, get us a little time to recuperate.
Indeed.
And when we come back, we're going to be talking a little bit
Pro
about the
sports.
New York Giants' jerseys
Ugly.
and the Cleveland Guardians' new City Connect jerseys that they released last week. And a little bit of maybe NASCAR that's coming up this week because it is the All-Star race and a big weekend for Indy fans. It is the Brickyard 400, Indy 500. That's what it is.
And since some people were asking me at Fulmer's about this segment, I will also be talking how Scotty Scheffler is having one of the greatest golf runs of our generation, and we don't even realize it.
Yes. We'll be right back right after these couple messages.
You flipped them.
T minus 10 minutes. T minus 9 minutes. T minus 8 minutes. T minus 7 minutes. T minus 6 minutes. T minus 5 minutes. T minus 4 minutes. T minus 3 minutes. T minus 2 minutes. T minus 1 minute. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Dave!
Yeah.
Big guy. Hey, you ever seen the view from the 80th floor?
Oh, they never let me pass the lobby.
What? I can't. Hey, back off, man. This is Dave Seville.
I don't wanna hear from 2093, we all know. I don't wanna hear from Nermy, no, I wanna hear your song.
Welcome to Jet Records.
Told you, Dave. Never lose.
I know you say you know me, I know you think you different. I know you think you get a lot of money, you got no women. I know you say you got the finest cars, you got no engine.
Every single time. It's just so... Oh, it's so bad, but it's so good.
Yeah. Oh,
Do you know who this is?
one of the greats from our childhood watching that movie.
Which... There was a TikTok clip that came up the other day
Uh-oh.
from the Alvin and Chipmunks 2 movie, where this young gentleman who asks the Chipmunks, they were like, "Oh, you used to be famous." And they said, "Oh, yeah, back in when we were sipping weird-tasting pink lemonades on Diddy's yacht."
Yeah.
And then Theodore says, "Oh, I miss him." Bro.
Yeah. Well, if y'all don't know about the P. Diddy allegations right now, we're not going to talk about it because we're a sports podcast. But if you feel free, go ahead and look it up. But to get back into the sports news that we have been talking about, the City Connect jerseys. A lot of them have been some bad ones.
Almost all of them,
Yeah.
in my personal opinion.
Before we look at it, here's the list that we show y'all every time.
One has been good.
Yeah, one has been very, very good. The Rays.
The one that I least expected to actually.
Yeah, but we got the Phillies jersey, Mets jersey, and now the Guardians jerseys. So if we look at the ones we have seen so far, Josh's, I think, second favorite of the list is the Phillies. And then after them, we got the beautiful, beautiful Mets jerseys that Josh adores. I think this is his number one. After them, the Rays came out with these jerseys. And right after that, this past week, we got Detroit's kind of weird-looking jerseys that everybody thought was kind of out of right field.
Yep.
But then yesterday... hold on. There we go. Cleveland came out with their own jerseys, and I think they are a success. They kind of look pretty good in my opinion. The CLE being very bold isn't really cool. If they would have made that a little smaller, I think it would have been probably 8 out of 10, but I think this jersey gets about a 7 out of 10 because I like the stripes on the shoulders and how their hat is with the C. I think that is a very good touch. But what's your opinion, Josh?
Awful. It's just...
You think it's all right?
I mean, they look like the Capitals, the AAA team.
Oh, yeah.
That's literally their jerseys. Same color, same everything, except it's Cleveland.
Yeah. I do like those pinstripes on the shoulder, though. Those are pretty cool.
Don't get me started about pinstripes now, where they shouldn't be.
On the shoulder.
I'm talking to you, Mets. I'm talking to you, putting pinstripes there shouldn't be. Golly.
I thought you adored those Mets jerseys. You talked multiple times why you love those jerseys.
I talked multiple times about the jerseys. I didn't say I liked them.
Yeah, that is, I think, I'm feeling they're really dropping these City Connect jerseys every week, just keeping them going. I bet you tomorrow there'll be another City Connect jersey being dropped. Probably the Blue Jays. Hopefully it's the Blue Jays. But a lot of people have had the leak of the Dodgers uniforms. I didn't want to go ahead and show it until they actually put it out because it could be a knockoff jersey. I hope it is because it does not look good in my opinion. But there has been some new jerseys that have came out in the NFL before we roll straight into the NFL news.
Why are you torturing me?
I'm not torturing you. The MLB and the NFL is torturing you. You go.
Before y'all see these, think in the back of your head what a high school team in Texas would wear if they were called the Rams, but they were a red ram.
Yeah.
Now think in your mind.
Yes. So they are celebrating 100 years of football, and they are throwing it back to the first, I think, 3 generations that have played there, not generations, but years that they have changed the uniforms. The helmets is from the 1923 era. One of them's from 1933. One of them's from 1946, and the other one's from 19 something. But here's the jerseys. I am not a fan. They look absolutely hideous. Oh. So some people said it's a mix between Michigan, the Canadians, and Canadian Football League uniform.
I think they look like if the San Francisco 49ers and the LA Rams had a child that had to get his GED. And then that turned into that. Not saying anything wrong with getting your GED. Go and get your GED, but that's terrible.
Yeah.
These are worse than the Mets jerseys.
New York is not doing so well on this.
It doesn't look like they even try. Like, what tells you that's New York? Nothing.
Not a single thing. They're just trying to celebrate the jerseys that they have worn through the past. But if they really wanted to do that, throw back to the red jerseys that they used to wear.
Yes.
And do the dark navy blue helmets that says Giants on the side. I think that would look crisp, look clean. Because they haven't worn in a while. Celebrate it that way. Don't break out something extravagant like this, or I guess crazy. But just go with something simple. But this is just out of left field. It's horrible.
It looks like a high school. No, it looks like a Pop Warner team.
It does look like.
You know when they used to throw 3 different jersey colors and then they just threw a Bucks like a Bucks thing on it. It's like the Bucks aren't purple and green.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
Well, they tell the parents to go buy pants, so they're all different colored pants, but they have the same jersey on.
Bro.
That has been hand-me-downs from
generation.
Oh. Yeah.
So bad. So bad.
Our next caller is getting ready, but we're going to be going to him here in a little bit. Oh, no, we're getting close. I might have to call off of your phone then. Here in a second, we're going to show y'all some NFL schedule releases that they have came out with.
Yes.
The first one we're going to show you is the Bucks, and I think it's pretty cool. It's a 5-minute long video. We're going to try to show you the whole entire thing. But there are some other teams that we thought are pretty cool. The Jags had a very cool trailer. And the No, I almost said Chicago. The Chargers also released a very good one.
The best.
Yes.
So far.
So right now we're going to show you the Bucks one first.
Here we go.
I always felt like football, it reflects a lot of what's going on in perhaps one's life. You go through a lot of the same types of struggles and hard work and battles trying to get there. I think you have to relish the pain and the joy. It can get very emotional because it does have that meaning captured within that ball.
If you're making the comparison of football to art, it elicits something within you that takes you back to a moment of joy. It's important to, as an artist, capture the moments that feel larger than life. It's part of the draw of why people come here. They want to be part of Tampa, and the Bucks come with that.
And when you think about art, it starts with a vision. It starts with some inspiration.
These moments give artists like me an opportunity to see it through my lens.
We're supposed to be entertainers. We're supposed to take you away from everyday life.
So we look back and we learn from the greats in hopes that we'll be great one day ourselves.
I think if you just want to be good, it doesn't matter. I think if you want to be one of the best, you have to make people uncomfortable sometimes.
You know you've created something. You know something is special when there's tension and there's a little confrontation.
As a player, when I hear the word rivalry, everything inside my body and spirit intensifies.
Rivals represent added motivation.
These teams have been super chatty.
People love drama. You have to have a villain. You gotta have some type of beef going on.
The story of, I can't wait to see how they overcome this. Doesn't matter if your villain's not great enough.
You're not afraid of this whole thing falling apart. You're not pushing hard enough.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers win the NFC South.
As an artist, you want to leave your mark in the world. You have to make people take that journey with you.
I love the experience of going in somebody else's house, beating up on their team and leaving and pointing like, ha ha.
You get this little feeling. You realize like, this is it. It's all we got. And in reality, what we need.
When I think of legacy, I think of the crew.
Chanting back and forth the Tampa.
They're so loud, you can't even like feel it. It just feels like you're in a dream.
Shoot, you don't even hit the crowd at that moment.
Your adrenaline is just going after what you just did.
I think what speaks to the fans is the risk. I think an artist or an athlete takes a risk.
You put your body, your spirit, your mind in places you haven't gone before.
There's been a lot of odds here and such, man, and we overcame them.
I don't like telling people that they're wrong. I just like showing them. If you don't believe in me, just sit back, just wait.
Being able to harness the doubt that's being created from the outside, it reveals who you are.
Nobody's gonna touch him. Rodney Barber.
And it wasn't until that moment that I realized I was an artist for life.
This game is special. The impossible is possible. And when you think something's not going to happen, it happens.
The limitation is that I perceived to be there. Now the reality has superseded that.
There it is. The dagger's in. We're gonna win the Super Bowl.
That right there is, true legacy.
Well, it's called history. Ask Kansas City in 1979.
The Buccaneers are the NFC Central Division champions.
These pictures and art tell the story of what the Buccaneers have been.
Who's going to tell those stories, if not us?
After I'm done playing, how are we going to be remembered? Hey, man, the journey is still out there. There are more Super Bowls to win.
What excites me about the next unknown is that nothing is promised.
That game is only going to happen in that situation that one time. Once it's going, it's going.
I think when you start reflecting on that and be consumed, you appreciate it that much more. It makes you go right back and start reflecting on where you came from. It does make those times when success finally arrives, that much sweeter, something that's almost indescribable.
We all did a little part for this franchise. People don't forget. People know.
So that is the schedule for the Bucks. There's a bunch on there. And the ones that I'm very excited for coming up, yeah.
Oh, whoops.
Are the Falcons and the Saints, obviously, because they are rivals. But the Chargers is going to be a good one because their trailer is very, very good.
Yes.
And I'm kind of excited to play all those teams out there.
Yeah, all I'm going to say is 1-0, 1-1, 2-1, 3-1, 4-1, 5-1, 5-2, 6-2, 6-3, 6-4, 7-4, 8-4, 9-4, 10-4, toss up.
Against Cowboys?
Man, we could lose like 5 games this year, and that's it. We have a pretty easy schedule.
Mm-hmm.
We play the Lions and the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And the Bengals. Or not the Bengals,
the 49ers. That's a hard one, too.
And never mind. We kind of have a...
It's going to be pretty good. I'm
Oh,
excited
lovely.
for it.
Yes.
Here, let's come back to the camera here for a second. As y'all notice, we are standing up for this portion. The camera went dead, and we still want to do a phone call with our next caller, so we decided we're going to stand up for the last little bit that we have. And I think we should go into our sister team in the state of Florida.
Yes.
The Jags. They had a very good trailer.
Very good.
It was based off of a show that is coming back, X-Men 97, that just released on Disney Plus.
Yes.
Yeah. I was excited for it to come out, but I still haven't watched it. I still have to catch up a little bit from when I was younger watching it. But yeah, so they did a little Marvel theme type, and we're going to show y'all this right now. All right, so we're looking over here at the Jags schedule. They got a pretty good schedule there too, just like us.
0-1, 0-2, because you know what? Jameis is going to go into Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And catch that dub week 2.
They got a very hard first 5 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Buffalo, Houston.
Yeah. Especially Buffalo adding on Keon.
The Colts are their first easy team. Then you have Chicago with their loaded team now that they have all the draft picks and the trades.
Yeah.
Then you have easy New England. Then you have Green Bay with Jordan Love and Josh Jacobs.
That is actually a very hard first half of the season.
And then Philly.
Hold on, their bye week doesn't come all. Damn.
Oh my!
They got a long stretch till they get a bye week.
So I realistically see them winning 3 games before the bye week.
Yeah, week 12 to the bye week. So their back half of the season actually looks a little easier. That's what I was looking at before. Tennessee, and then the Jets.
Yeah, they have to play
Las
Houston
Vegas,
again
Tennessee.
after the bye week, but that's going to be their hardest game.
But the latter half of the season, I feel like they can pick it up. But I don't know, Trevor Lawrence, people are talking about he's showing a lot more during this offseason. Or not this offseason, but he's feeling more prepared coming in for this offseason.
Oh, very nice.
But I don't know. I kind of want to see the Jags do a couple of things, do a little better because, they're kind of close. Yeah. Always want to root for them. But there is that word that they might be moving stadiums while they're getting renovations. So that's always crazy.
Yeah. So that's going to be interesting as far as bowl games go. The world's biggest cocktail party. I mean, it's going to affect a lot.
Yeah. The next one we are going to show you is the funniest
by
release.
Far.
The Chargers media is probably the best media team out there.
I would say it would have to go Chargers, Bills, Bucks.
Yes, and then Browns probably.
And then Browns will probably be 4th. Yeah.
I actually follow the Browns on everything, on all social media platforms, just because of how funny
hilarious.
They are. Yeah,
they
Same
have
with the
to make
Chargers.
up for how awful they've been for the past however many years, so they have to have a good social media team.
Yes. So here's the Chargers little Sims trailer.
Oh,
release.
it's so good.
Você vê mesmo.
Defense in the first half.
Ha ha ha. That's probably the funniest skit.
Just steal my line. That is probably the funniest schedule release that I've seen in the NFL.
They knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see because what was the team that literally was like, oh, here was our opponents if they were.
Memes? That was the Browns.
No. The one where it was not memes, if they were logos. And it was literally just the logos of every team, week 1 through 15. Who was that? It was so bad.
Who that was. Yeah,
was
but
it
was
the
pretty
Raiders?
Bad. It could have been the Raiders.
Golly.
Yeah.
But, so bad.
They get a bye week pretty early. Week 5, they get a bye week.
Well, they technically get a bye week 1.
Yeah.
And week 2.
Yeah.
Dang.
And possibly week 3.
Yeah, and then they had to play the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Which are surprisingly maybe going to be down 4 of their superstars because of comments and improperly driving and beating women.
Yeah, so the Chiefs, they might be actually losing a lot of people on their schedule.
Fingers crossed.
The roster.
Fingers crossed.
So after their bye week, they go play the Broncos.
Garbage.
That's probably going to be a win for them too. Cardinals after that.
Monday Night Football, baby. That's going to be
They actually have a lot of Monday Night Football games.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
So then they play the Saints, Browns, Titans. So, the Chargers actually might be a team to watch coming up here.
Well, maybe if they drafted a wide receiver this year.
Yes. That is the only thing that they are missing.
Maybe give him some help.
Yeah.
He can't do everything himself. I know he's like 6'8", but that doesn't mean anything. He's not Michael Vick. Like, he can't throw the ball and run down there and catch it. It's a shame.
I do have to say, I like how we look like we're doing one of the football games. Oh, Johnny, how are you doing today?
Doing very well.
All right, back to you, Jim.
That's literally CBS for the past 30 years.
Yeah. This is actually
with
the
Brad
camera angle
Nessler,
they basically
Brad
had.
Nessler and that other old guy.
Yeah.
Golly.
Yeah, but we are getting so close to football season. 100 days away from college football. Actually, closer if you count week 0 with FSU playing Georgia Tech.
Why wouldn't you count that?
Yes, but a lot of people aren't. So they say 100 days, but it's going to be less than that.
Less than that.
Yeah. But NFL, I think, starts right after that. The week
I'm
after.
hyped for that.
Yeah.
Hyped for that.
Definitely going to be starting a fantasy football league.
Hit the bets.
Yes.
Take FSU to win the ACC. They're a plus 250 right now.
There we go. I like that. What other news do we have for the NFL before we move on? I don't think there is much. Keon Coleman's actually been making the news a lot more.
Yeah, he's he's a great guy.
Yeah.
He's going to do. Buffalo is going to, as long as he plays well, Buffalo is going to love him for years until they trade him to.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot. Yeah,
Chiefs.
There was Ricky Minicamp. That was the reason why people were talking about him a lot, because he was showing up and showing out, looking really good. There was also talks about Ricky Pearsall and his training camp. They said he looked very crisp with his route running. But there was something that made the news that was rather weird. What? And it wasn't Tua's brother with the Seahawks.
Oh my gosh. The amount of tweets about this, the amount of TikToks I've seen.
Yeah.
No, just because he's tall, white, and he played at like a D4 school. Yes, I know. His legs. Yes. He is like 260 pounds.
Yeah.
And Tua's brother is like 5'8", $120.
Yeah.
I mean, if I stood up next to Tua's brother.
Yeah. A lot of people are saying Tua's brother was showing a lot of good things. I don't know how to pronounce it.
That's why he didn't make the team.
Yeah.
Both the Tagovailoa sons are going to be out of the NFL.
Yeah.
Very
so
soon.
Tua might be out because of an injury or just
and he's
throwing
just not
to the
good.
referees and
not good.
Yeah. So,
He just has such a good. See, here's the thing.
How do you have a good wide receiver core like that? And
an amazing head coach.
Yeah.
Like, that's the reason why they're good.
And one of the best offensive lines in the NFL, too.
Yes. They just.
Their defense is garbage,
though. 2025, the Miami Dolphins are going to trade 2 picks in next year's draft and 1 in the year after that, and probably 1 or 2 people off of their actual roster for Justin Herbert.
You think so? I don't understand why people are saying Justin Herbert's going to leave the Chargers. I really don't.
He needs to, because they're not giving him any help.
I feel like...
What's the one thing that the Chargers had to draft this year that they didn't? A wide receiver.
That is true.
What you had a decent, okay offensive line, even though they did draft that, which is good.
Yeah.
So now you're giving Justin Herbert enough time to realize he's going to get sacked before he gets sacked. Like, that's all you're doing. You're just giving him more time to get hurt. More time to get hurt.
He said he can't see us. Hold on.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's behind. Don't worry about that. Oh. No, we're good. Okay, I guess that was an old message. That was an old message. But we are about to transfer over to NASCAR.
NASCAR.
Yes. So coming up this week is the All-Star race at North Wilkesboro. They're starting, I think, tomorrow night with all the events and races that is going to be happening. But what has been in the news and been talking about for the past couple weeks and is going to be happening next weekend, is the Indy 500 and
the milk.
Charlotte Coca-Cola 600 will all be happening at the same day.
2 of the best liquids.
Yeah, so there is a guy that has been winning some races this year that is going to be doing something that only a handful of drivers have done. Tony Stewart has done it, and I think another guy has done it before him. This is 1,100 miles in one day you're going to be driving. Like, you racing in Indy, you fly to Charlotte, and then you race another 600 miles.
Oh.
So that's Kyle Larson.
That's like 24 hours at Le Mans.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Kyle Larson is going to be doing the Indy 500, which everybody's very excited to see him
completely
do
different
that.
tracks.
They are 2 completely different tracks.
Completely different
2
tracks.
totally different cars. And Kyle Larson only had a couple hours of seat time in practice and getting going, learning how to do it.
Like, you have to have a completely different car modded up and like ran through and like computer diagnostic for Charlotte than you would Indianapolis 500. Like, completely different.
Yeah. It's crazy too, because when Tony did it, he started out in the Indy series. So he was very familiar with the car when he came into the 500 and did it. And he was in NASCAR at the time, of course.
Yeah.
So he was familiar with both cars. Kyle Larson has no experience with either or. So it's going to be very exciting to like see him do that. NASCAR's seeing a bunch of different cool things this season.
Their sports are definitely throughout all different genres of sports in the U.S. right now. NASCAR's getting big. Soccer's starting to get big. I mean,
yeah. Well, we're going to actually go in for our next phone call. This is actually with my dad, who is a very avid NASCAR guy.
Avid.
He's been watching all the way from when they put it on the television. So we're actually going to give him a call right now.
Hey, guys.
Hello, Mr. Dawson. You're on the air.
Hello.
Hey, guys. Everything going all right?
Yes, sir. Thank you for being on this evening.
Thank you for being on this evening.
Yes, sir.
Yes, so This weekend being the All-Star race, who is your favorite driver to end up winning this thing?
Well, of course, I'm going to be a little biased because I'm a big Ross Chastain fan. But the favorite is, I believe, is going to be Denny Hamlin. He is at plus 5. Yeah, so he's at plus 525. So Josh, if you were to lay $100 on Denny Hamlin, you'd probably come away with about maybe 515.
That might be the sleeper pick of the. Oh.
I know Dalton's definitely gonna put.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it.
Actually the top 5 favorites. You got Denny Hamlin at 525. You got William Byron at plus 625. Christopher Bell, who is very good on short tracks, and this is a very short track. The track, I believe, is like 0.625 miles in length, with just over half mile. So Christopher Bell is at plus 800, and Kyle Larson is at plus 900.
Dang.
And our boy Chastain is like at plus 2,000. So the odds makers are not giving him very good chances to win the race.
Okay.
I might have to throw a little bit of money on old Denny Ham this weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, Denny is very good at these short tracks. I would pull for old Denny if he drove the bow tie, but since he's driving a Toyota, I just can't do it. I like his attitude. He's aggressive. And when he gets out of the car and the people boo him, they say, "Hey, I just beat your favorite driver." So you got to love it about him.
Oh,
yeah, that is true about Denny. Denny is that type of guy. He'll tell you how it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of like Kyle Busch, but a little more bratty, in my opinion.
Yeah, he is. Now Kyle is brash, but bless his heart, he cannot get a handle on this next gen car. Kyle might be young, but he's a throwback to the guys of old like Earnhardt and David Pearson and people like that.
Oh yes.
So, but this year's All-Star race is going to have a different format to it. It's going to be kind of cool.
Oh, so what's the format that they will be running with this year?
So the format is like on Sunday, what they're going to do is they're going to run 2 60-lap heats for all eligible drivers, and then that's gonna set the field. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Then after the 2 60-lap heats, they're going to do the All-Star Open, which I can't recall how many laps is in that, but in the Open, the top 2 drivers will automatically advance into the main event, and then there's going to be the fan vote.
The fan vote.
Oh, so they're bringing back the fan vote.
Yes, they are bringing back the fan vote, and so whoever does not, if they say like the guy that wins the fan vote, actually the guy that does win the fan vote is he's one of the 2. They're going to go to the next highest. So as of right now, from what I can remember, Noah Gragson is the top vote getter. Then Corey LaJoy, and I think Bubba Wallace is the 3rd place vote getter.
Bubba Wallace?
Okay. He is a sleeper when it comes down to these races.
Really?
Yes, he is a sleeper. And then after that, the main event is going to be 200 laps, and the winner is going to get $1 million cold hard cash.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Wow.
So that going back to $1 million, like how this All-Star race, it's kind of throwback to how North Wilkesboro actually is, because this is an old track that dates back long into NASCAR's history. But there was a period of time that they did not race there at North Wilkesboro, and my dad actually knows a lot about that race.
Really?
So growing up, or not growing up, but getting older and watching NASCAR and seeing them race North Wilkesboro and then not race there and coming back, how does that feel for you, being a longtime NASCAR watcher?
Well, let me tell you, I think you watched last year's race for me with me. I was very emotional because at one point in time, NASCAR was my favorite sport, and when they went away from North Wilkesboro, I was kind of, because 1994 was the last race they had there, won by Jeff Gordon, and it was kind of sad to see it go, because that North Wilkesboro is a very small community, and it's very agrarian. And what's kind of funny is their main economic boost up there, or their main moneymaker back in the day, was actually running moonshine. And so that community really missed NASCAR being there, with all those fans coming in, with the hotel rooms, restaurants, and the camping, and just the money boost in that community. And I've been there once before, not to the racetrack, but to North Wilkesboro. It's a very small community, not much bigger than, say, maybe Perry. And I think it's pretty cool that NASCAR is going back to a community like that. And Dale Earnhardt Jr. Was instrumental in getting all that going.
Oh yeah, that's like dope.
It is cool how Dale Jr. is helping to bring back all these old tracks. Me and my dad watch the Dale Jr. download a lot, like probably almost every week they come out with one. And he is actually pushing for another track to get back on the schedule. I can't remember it right now, but do you remember it, Dad? That's on the that he's trying to get back?
It's he's actually two of them. It's the Nashville Fairgrounds track, and Rockingham in Rockingham, North Carolina.
Yo!
Yeah, Rockingham's one that was one of the ones that was recently taken off the list, correct?
It's been taken off for quite some time. I want to say in the early 2000s, I think it was taken off. But
yeah, that's pretty close.
It's really sad because it's really sad because that is a high bay track, and you can run 3 wide all the way across that thing, and it's another small town. I've been through Rockingham, and it's probably about maybe the size of Valdosta. Hey. And it is sad that NASCAR went away from towns like that. And by the way, NASCAR used to race in Valdosta many years ago.
Really?
Huh. That's actually pretty cool.
That's insane.
Huh. The other day, me and James were watching a couple YouTube videos, and there was a place that a lot of people did not know they raced there, and I was very shocked when I found out. But they actually used to have a track over at Disney. Yeah.
They did.
What? There was a track at Disney?
Yeah, they used to race IndyCar and NASCAR before there was 2 tragic deaths in a practice that happened.
That is true. Jacob, you don't remember this because you were in a car seat, and I think James was barely walking. And I don't know why in the world your mom and I took you guys down to Disney World, but we were actually there one time when they were doing a Indy Racing League test session there at the track, and we were able to go and stand up on a big old gigantic van and see some of the Indy Racing League guys make laps there. And I know that shortly after that, there was what they used to call the Busch Series guys. they race there. And we saw some practice laps there as well. Yeah, I'm sure you don't remember it because you were a little thing.
Yeah, I definitely do not remember that, because when I saw this video, I was just like, they had a track there?
Yes, and there were several deaths there because it was actually a part of the parking lot, and it was not a very well laid out track, and it was very fast, and it was very dangerous.
Yeah, that was before they had the safer barriers, right?
Yeah, correct. And they used to have a Richard Petty ride along school, and they would have people would actually pay hundreds of dollars to go and ride along with these NASCAR instructors. And there were several deaths down there where the car actually broke loose and hit the wall, and the instructor and the patron passed away. So yeah, they now Disney decided it was time for that to go away.
Yeah, it's very tragic of that happening. But
yeah, that is true.
Yeah, but that was a little piece of history that is at Disney that a lot of people did not know about. That started out in the mid '90s. That was a little project run that Disney was running with multiple different other things. But yeah, there's a lot of rich history of NASCAR that goes in different types of routes. Moonshining, Disney, a town the size of Perry, which is like 100 people. That's crazy.
Moon landing.
Yes. NASCAR, I believe they have seen the error of their ways, and they're starting to come back to the small grassroots tracks. Like Five Flags over in Pensacola.
Oh yeah, that is a very cool track.
Yes, it's a very good track, and we were actually fortunate enough to go over and watch the SRX series over there, and it was very fun, very fun, very fast. Actually, I think it was actually faster than Bristol. I mean, it was a very cool track to watch. So, but yeah, going back to this weekend's race, I think the way NASCAR has got this thing going is these teams have two tire options for this weekend in North Wilkesboro. They've got the primary tire that they race on short tracks and intermediate tracks, where it's going to have the regular tires that they've run before. It's kind of like a medium wear, and that's going to have like the yellow stripes formats on it, the Goodyear lettering. And then they're going to have like an option tire, and it's going to have red lettering on it, and it's going to have the same compound as a wet weather tire. So so the option tire is actually going to be high grip, and it's going to be high wear. So what's going to happen is it's going to wear out faster, and those guys are going to be slipping and sliding all over that track. So according to what I've been hearing, is they have to qualify on the option tire, and they're going to run the 60 lap heat races on the option tire. I mean on the primary tire, excuse me. Then they're going on the open. They're going to race the primary tire, and then in the main event, what they're going to do is they have to start out on the option tire. Everybody has to start out on the high grip, high wear tire. So, which means those guys are going to have to. They're going to have to watch their tire wear, and they're going to be slipping and sliding everywhere, and they have to come in and change tires. So NASCAR is forcing these guys to have a pit stop, which is kind of cool because then the whole team comes into play.
That is true. That is something that a lot of people were missing out of the All-Star week, because they used to do pit functions where it came down to the pits to get points and where they're going to be at in the race.
Right.
Yeah. So that is cool. Bringing that back.
The pit stop, the pit stop challenge or the pit crew challenge, that used to determine the pit stalls in the All-Star race, which is actually cool. And then the winning pit crew were paid $75,000, and they were they divvied that up. So they actually had some incentives to do the best they could. So it was kind of cool. I kind of wish they'd bring that back, but I think this tire option thing brings the crew back into play. And if the driver comes in, does his thing, hits his marks like he's supposed to, the guys are going to go in, jack that car up, put the tires on. The pit crew that hits their marks, does their best, is going to get their driver out for that 200 lap segment. That's going to be a big deal.
Yes, it is. Going back to these tires, the ones that are high wear, or grip, high wear, are these similar to what we saw over at Bristol, where ended up going flat pretty quickly, and a lot of people were pitting, and a lot more accidents happened in the third segment? Is it going to be kind of like that?
I really don't know, because, I know that North Wilkesboro was just repaved, so I'm not sure it's going to be as abrasive as North Wilkesboro. Do you remember? I mean, as Bristol. When we walked on that track, we were astonished that there was actually cement with these big old gigantic rocks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this it was like ground down. I mean, it was really almost like the same thing as the old fashioned gravel roads with asphalt thrown in it.
Yeah, it really was.
I'm not too sure if they're gonna if you're gonna have tire wear like that. But those high grip tires, when they first start out, those guys are going to be hauling the mail. I mean, they're going to be hauling butt. And once those things starts wearing out, they're going to be slipping and sliding. But I don't know if we're going to be like it was at Bristol. Okay. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. So there are a lot of things that we have to watch for this weekend.
Indeed.
Might be glued to the screen on Saturday and Sunday, watching everything. But thank you for calling in today.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate the betting knowledge and who I should take this weekend.
Yes,
so I will be putting some money on them.
Yeah, and the historical facts of NASCAR.
So Josh, going back to that. So if you lay down $100 and Denny Hamlin wins, you're going to get $525. So if you lay down $100 on William Byron, you're going to get back $625. So you think about it, as the plus numbers go up, of course, the more risk you're going to make. But if that person ends up winning, you're going to
a whole bunch of money.
Make some major jack.
I'm putting money on Chase Elliott.
Yeah. Oh, and Jacob, just to let you know, the other guys that have done the double from Indianapolis to Charlotte, the first one to actually do it was John Andretti.
That's who it was. I was trying to remember because I knew it was two other drivers.
John Andretti, bless his heart, or God rest his soul. He passed away a few years ago of testicular cancer, but he was the first one to do it, and then Tony Stewart did it shortly after that, and then Kurt Busch did it after Tony.
I forgot
Kurt Busch. So now Kyle is going to give it his shot. So I do know I did find out today if weather does come into play in Indianapolis, Tony Kanaan is going to be sitting in for Kyle and actually doing the race in Indy, because Kyle did come out and say that the Coca-Cola 600 in Charlotte is his priority, and anything that comes in Indy comes second hand. So
okay. So if the race does get delayed from weather, he is just going to stay over in Charlotte?
Yes, he's gonna fly to Charlotte
Smart
and
man.
do the and do the 600 as normal, and then Tony Kanaan will take his seat for the 500.
Okay. Tony Kanaan is a well-known driver recently. Not recently, but
He's actually won the 500 twice. So and he's very excited. He's very excitable guy. He's from Brazil, and we all know that Brazilian drivers are like some of the best in the world. So
that is very true.
So it's kind of like. It's kind of like people from Texas that ride bulls. You know, if you're from Texas, you know you can ride a bull.
Exactly.
But if you're from Brazil, you're a good race car driver.
That is very true.
And also, don't forget on Memorial Day weekend, your first race is going to be the Monaco Grand Prix in Formula One, and then when the Monaco Grand Prix is over, shortly after that, the Indianapolis 500 begins. And when the Indianapolis 500 begins, a couple hours after that, the Coca-Cola 600 ends. So, if you guys are a petrol head like me and love to watch racing, that Sunday, that Memorial Day Sunday, is a racer's dream.
There we go.
Gosh, all day.
Yeah.
All day affair. All day racing.
We know the finish with it's going to be a progressive, closer finish while the night goes or day goes on. Formula One, it's going to be about a 20-minute lead from the first place guy to the second place. Indy might be like a 10-minute lead, and then NASCAR might be 0.01 seconds again. You never know.
Yeah, correct. And you know, Verstappen's going to win in Formula One. So, to me, Formula One is all about the cars, not about the driver.
That is very true.
I don't understand why Americans have adopted it the way that they have. It was actually more exciting back in the 90s and early 2000s than it is now. But to each his own. I guess people like pit strategies. But the 500 here recently with this new car, it's been very exciting. But I tell you what, though, NASCAR guys, don't you dare listen. If you have not been watching NASCAR this year, these races have been very, very, very exciting with these new cars, and it's
very exciting.
It is. It's very exciting. So, tune in, watch it, and you guys have a good evening.
All right, thank you for calling in with us and talking with us for now 23 minutes. And this is basically an episode of its own right now.
We can have a little sub episode of just NASCAR talk, and we can put it on there. That would be dope.
Yes, but
after the Memorial Day weekend, we'll do this again. We'll talk racing.
There we go.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes, but thank you so much. I know it's getting late, 10 o'clock right now. We're going to start wrapping up the show. So thank you so much. Hope you have a good night.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Bye. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
All right. Well, that was my dad, if nobody picked that up through the whole entire talk.
He knows a lot about racing.
Yes. He's somebody who has basically eat, sleep, talk, nothing but NASCAR and anything with 4 tires and a motor. He's watching it.
That's me with Florida State. Like, the way that I care about Florida State football is the way that he cares about just everything racing.
Yes.
Everything.
There's sometimes I wake up and he's watching a MotoGP race, and other times he's watching a motocross race. Like, he's always watching something.
The amount of racing flags in their house and the amount of like cars, like building actual NASCAR. Like, I remember when we were growing up, it seemed like that man had a ton of it. They
definitely
were
like
so
a museum
sick.
in there.
Oh yeah. The garage was the museum. You had all the 24-hour race flags.
Yeah, hopefully once we get the we're turning the garage, what used to be our garage, into a pool room. So hopefully once we renovate that and turn that into what it is, we can do a podcast there at one point, do some pool shots, do some darts, and definitely have my dad on there, basically almost schooling us on every bit of knowledge with NASCAR and with college football too.
That would be cool for us to have like a podcast thing, but where we're like playing pool, talking with the mics on, playing darts, just
Yes. Also, this past weekend was Mother's Day.
It was.
Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers that are out there. But yes, this weekend is nothing, and then we got Memorial Day, and I think in June or July is Father's Day.
Yes, June.
Yeah. But it's been a long podcast. What are we at? Almost 2.5 hours, or over 2.5 hours on this. This has been a fun one.
Yes.
I liked it. We've done 20 episodes so far.
20 episodes. 2-0.
Yeah.
Honestly, we've had a bunch of brainstorming stuff over the many years of our friendship. I thought this was going to be, the same thing that we usually do, where it's like one or two things. I'm like, 20 episodes.
20. Yeah.
2-0.
We're doing pretty good with this, and I like how it's going. I'm having a blast every single time we do this because I'm texting you in the morning. You ready for tonight? Like, let's get this going. And it helps me also keep up to date with things that has happened and is happening right now. So, yeah. And plus with High Five, we actually haven't talked about High Five this whole entire episode.
We haven't.
High Five is our company that is promoting positivity and making friendships. So this is a great way for us to talk to a lot of y'all and make new friendships and I don't know, just get ourselves out there and have a good time.
Yeah.
But
with like-minded, or if you're not like-minded individuals, just someone who likes to have a conversation, someone who wants to talk ball.
Yes.
We don't want the people that are just talking out of certain ways. We just want people that know ball.
Yes.
I am so sorry.
You keep
for everyone,
looking
I
at
keep on looking up because I'm used to either a phone or a camera being there. I keep on looking.
You're good. It's muscle memory. Yeah, but yeah, college football is coming up. We have a lot of plans to do with all that.
Indeed.
It's just figuring things out now, how we're gonna do it. But we're gonna get some T-shirts out there. We already have some patches made. We're gonna actually let me show you some of these.
Oh yes, show the patches, show the patches. Show the patches.
Yes. So as of right now, we've made some Florida State patches. We have garnet and white of the circle patches and the 850 black patch. It's something that I've been working on, trying to perfect and get going. We do have some Florida Gator ones too, but we have not done a photo shoot with that. That's going to be actually pretty cool when we do that.
Indeed.
It is on Instagram if y'all would like to message us and able to get that. As of right now, they do not come with backing, but if you do want backing, just let us know. We can put Velcro on the back. We can put the iron-on portion on it.
Yes, for the few, because I know a few of the people who are following are actually current active military. If you want Velcro on any patch that you want to throw like on your helmet or throw on your uniform, please.
Yes.
I mean, okay. We didn't talk about this and might not agree to this. If you are an active duty military, buy one, get one patches. And if you want Velcro, we'll do it for free.
Faux show. Because I actually did test my Velcro patch knowledge with my buddy who is an ex-military. I made him a baby blue one and a purple one, and I gave that to him. He has that on his patch wall. So yeah, they actually look really good. But yes, I'm okay with that for sure.
That would be dope.
Yeah,
that would be dope. Because I have a few of them that are getting ready to go back because of certain things that are going on.
Yes.
Why not spread positivity even in certain times?
That is very true.
And also have a dope patch on your uniform.
I know for a fact that a lot of them, if they put it on their uniform, it has to be a certain color. And I have been trying to find the certain material to make that. Once I do, I'm definitely
start doing camo high five.
Camo high fives. That would actually be pretty sick. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be pretty sick. That would be pretty sick. Like a white camo. Oh, okay. We're
getting a little sidetracked right here, but it's a good sidetrack because we're talking about some good things for High Five.
Indeed.
If y'all have any ideas on something that we should do, either a video or something in production, because our name is High Five Productions, let us know down in the comments in our Instagram DM, Twitter DM, or whatnot. But yeah.
And I promise you right now, this is the 20th episode.
That's why we went
The
long.
1000th episode, we will still have at least one technical difficulty.
Yes.
That will probably be the running joke of this entire show for however long it goes, is at least once something's going to go wrong. But it's all good.
We're learning.
We're learning to roll with it, being like boom, 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 boom. We're good.
Yes. There is actually a couple of things that we are looking forward to like get going and build our stuff. Trying to get a soundboard, mixing board, and better camera quality and whatnot. But yeah, it's
Get the
something
expensive
slowly,
lights back.
Yeah, it's something slowly that we're going to be building
Indeed.
up. I kind of like our little studio that we have set up right now.
Indeed.
I think counting this room, we have been in 5 different locations. Logan's house, your old apartment, my truck, James's work, and here. So 5, yes.
5 places in 20 episodes.
Yeah, 20 episodes, 5 places.
Man, coming from the first episode where we were talking and you could hear the printer in the back just cha-ching, 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 cha-ching.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different now.
Yeah, now we got a cool little background. But
this is a green
6,
screen.
The shed.
This is all green screen.
Yeah. Yeah.
The shed. What kind of she shed?
Oh. Have a she shed just for podcast.
Shear shed.
Cheer shed?
Shear shed.
Cheer shed. I like
Cheer
that
shed.
idea for a beer shed. Cheer shed, beer shed.
Right next to the she shed.
Down by the seashore. Oh, seashore.
Seashores. Seashores.
But yes, thank y'all so much for watching.
Indeed.
If y'all have watched on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, because we were live on all 3 tonight. So thank y'all so much for watching.
Also, really
okay.
quick, if it doesn't hurt, if you want to like share this episode on your social media,
Yes.
like just little, put it in the Instagram story,
Mhm.
who knows, or like share some of our shorts that are on Twitch, some of them are on YouTube.
Yes.
Like them up, share them, get them out there. It would be very much appreciated.
Yes. It doesn't cost anything to do that.
No.
Just, put it on there. Who cares if
Who
somebody
knows
sees
if
it or
you
not?
if you do good enough, you might be able to see some free merch in your horizons
There
if
we
you
go.
if you help us out now. Who knows? You
Yeah.
know the people who start off day ones, they're looked after.
We need some number 1 fans.
We need some number 1 fans.
Yes, but
some fans.
Yes, we got a fan right over here. Yeah. But you ready to sign off, or you want to keep this going?
No, we can sign off. Well,
All right.
for the 20th episode,
Signing off. Thank y'all so